Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei. Today we're going to be talking about Biome Battle 2 again, this time event review. If you're confused about what's on the screen, this is what I was doing before I started preparing for the recording. Just wanted to give some behind the scenes insight on what I do sometimes when I'm not doing content stuff. I play a game. This is Far Merge Valley, just got a big coin lump, big W. Anyways, and binging with Babish on the side, kind of an elite, combo of activities. Either way, what is more relevant over here is Biome Battle, which is the event that we are going to be talking about today, Biome Battle 2 specifically, which I actually end up playing in. I will throw out a disclaimer. The event didn't finish, and it's not Biome Battle's fault. So I'll try to talk about it, but I know that we're not supposed to go into full detail about what happened. Nothing problematic from Biome Battle. They just were attacked by a group of people that hate fun, which is very unfortunate. So, yeah. Some parts of my review are gonna be talking about my experience because of what happened with the server and stuff. We'll get into it. Anyways, if you don't know what Biome Battle is, Minecraft event, this was the roster of players of everybody who played. Here's the tweet of them talking about instant support, although it was not the ending we have wished for. Hope we put on a good show. We're gonna go through this little VOD. Don't mind me scrolling through the entire thing, remembering which games exist and which ones I played in what order. Just want to give my perspective on this event, because it is a recent new event. It's one that only recently started publicly. Apparently it's been in the works for a long time, but only recently has there been events being hosted. There's also a mini version of Biome Battle, which I think is a public sign-up event. If you want to find out more stuff about that, there should be a link to the Discord in the description, or just go look up Biome Battle on Twitter. Biome Battle Minecraft event on Google, you'll find it eventually, alright? Anyways, event intro, what I can say, I guess. Yeah, some stuff didn't work because of server issues. That's unfortunate, not their fault. Some stuff that's just regarding how they do the intro. The music was cool. They have cool music. I can't really... I guess I can show you probably. No, it's gonna take too long for me to find the specific segment of the music being played. Trust me, it's cool. Otherwise, I think they have the music released on Spotify and stuff like that, so you can watch or you can listen to the music yourself. It's good music. Either way, let's get into the actual gameplay. Also, if you're confused at why this is such a long stream, go watch the VOD. It's out right now. It's a fun one. You'll hear some of the Wolfeei moderators talk. All right. First off, voting. Voting is relatively standard and simple. They do have modifiers. It's akin to Block Wars voting, except less chaotic. Which, I mean, I don't really think that matters. So cool, I guess. Nice little arena though. I like the Earth-themed walls. So that's cool. First game was the racing game they have, which also leads me to tutorials. They have, similar to PB, they have little tutorials for every single game where people can kind of play parts of the game. I will say that the tutorial needs a bit of work. I already gave the feedback to the staff team, so they're already aware, hopefully. One thing that I overall in this event had trouble with was getting a proper grasp of what was going on, because this event doesn't have the most straightforward games. There are some, twists and quirks to games. They're like spins on existing concepts, but those twists and quirks need to be properly explained and introduced. Also other things like using features from very recent versions of Minecraft that I have never seen or played before, that should be explained depending on how they want to approach the event. However, yeah, the intro, or sorry, the tutorials need a bit of work, because what I think happened is you probably get told how the thing works and then also have to do the thing at the same time, which doesn't work. It's one or the other, or both, but separately. I only did the tutorial playing part because instinctively I assumed if I do this tutorial I should know everything. That's not true. But they'll have that figured out, hopefully, within the next few events. Either way. Also, yes, obviously as you can see on the screen here for the racing game specifically, Some parts of the map were a little unclear. There definitely could be some extra sense of direction, because the jump I just looked at is a skip, and I only on my third lap realized that I needed to jump on the dripstone, which just because the other parts of the map were also dripstone, it blended in too much to the point where I couldn't really tell. This is just me being bad at the game, ignore this. Anyways, yeah, the racing game was unfortunate for me. Because there was a lot of server issues, I was experiencing like pretty big lag, like spikes rather. It wasn't like a constant lag. It was like sometimes I'd have normal ping, sometimes I'd have insane 500, 2000 ping. It was a massive weird back and forth of high ping, low ping. I don't know, man. It was just a mess. For the rest, in terms of proper just design of this game, I think it's alright. I mean, it's just a racing game. There's nothing too special to it, which isn't a dig at Biome Battle. It's just like most racing games, it's just very standard. It doesn't really have much special going on that separates it from other racing games, besides it just having some cool visuals, I guess. The pads and the things look nice, but in terms of map design, I guess it could use a little bit of work. But one thing that should be mentioned as well is that the people behind this event don't have too much Minecraft event experience, from what I know. As far as I'm aware, BitSquid is like a Minecraft dev and stuff, but isn't a Minecraft event like person up until Biome Battle. So there's some flaws and quirks that will just be there for now. Hopefully, upon proper feedback and them maybe looking at other events, they'll start to realize or learn, obviously, that some parts need tweaking. Again, I've already relayed all this info in the feedback form. Obviously, I'm trying to help, give them a bit of insight on how to maybe host events, as I think I am very well experienced, but it is what it is. So yeah, racing game, it's alright. I just couldn't play it properly because of the lag. As you can see, I just finished my first lap. I got reset back multiple checkpoints. I think my teammates also said that some of them got lagged back, but I think that's just purely because of the server performance. I don't think that's a game code issue, but I could be wrong. Anyways, so that's the first game that we played. The second game was this game. It was a hide-and-seek type game mode, which I actually thought was pretty fun. The map, I think, for this feels too big in the sense of it is already such a large scale map, but then also there's these tiny little crevices in the map that seem like they're very knowledge based. Funny little moment here, just on the screen, of me just juking the hell out of this person, and then they just never look to the left, and I just go grab candies like an absolute maniac. Anyways, yeah, this map is, in my opinion, too large. Or at least it's too large with too many hiding spots sprinkled around the map. It just feels like, as a hunter, it wasn't the most, like, fun experience. Obviously, this is from a hider perspective. It was very luck-based to just find a really good spot. Blitz Hunt has the same flaw where, obviously, some rooms may have a hiding spot that are, you could just stumble onto and be there for like a round and just get free a round win. The map here doesn't change, so if you find a good spot, you'll win every single round, which is what Jeremy did. He did insane. He won every single round as a hider and thus did insanely good at the game. We're about to enter the dungeon. Here they are. Jeremy right there in the bush, just chilling. Nobody ever looked in that direction, and he was just chilling. He won the entire game, pretty much. Well, he didn't win the entire game, but he won hiding. He never got tagged as a hider, so cool. Anyways, this game, yeah, it's alright. I think it's funny. It's silly. It's alright. I do think that, again, the map, because it's such a large scale one build, it does have flaws in terms of certain spots maybe being OP, and then you'd have to change it to... This map can't not be changed between events, in my opinion. You have to change it at least partially every single time, which that's fine. Like that, but that's just my perspective of it. Like you can't leave the map untouched between seasons, especially because obviously there's a longer gap between events. I think there's an expectation that this map would get tweaked every single time. What I would do my suggestion is make it smaller and maybe make multiple like smaller renditions of each map, but even then that might not solve the issue. So maybe this game is just good as is, and I need to stop yapping. So the hiding game, it's alright. The name Freakin' Seek was crazy, but I think that's just because of the Halloween spin or something. Anyways, yeah, hiding game, silly. It was alright. I thought it was alright. Next up is, I think this is Arena. This is a PvP game. It's like kit PvP, so I guess the most comparable thing is Battle, although it plays differently. It's like round robin battle. This game was okay. It's alright. Like so far, every game has been okay. Nothing has stood out in terms of like actual gameplay experience. Just looks nice, like visually. This game, in terms of specific gameplay, was just kind of hard. Like, it's very unintuitive because apparently the kills didn't matter, I was told, and it's just about the capture points. But never did was I ever explicitly told, hey, by the way, this PvP game, don't worry about the kills, it's just the capture points. We found out about this halfway through the game, pretty much, because we just weren't told. Another thing was the kits were like a bit of a mess. Here, I'll pause it right now. There was a pillager kit. There was like a freaking silverfish kit, a breeze, whatever. Right, doesn't matter. Anyways, half of these kits were absolutely garbage. The other half were OP. I don't know, man. Like that's just a testing thing that I can't like blame the event maker for that too much. You just have to figure that out through testing. For reference, this silverfish kit in the middle, I don't think I'll actually be able to display it, but the silverfish kit, the spawns little silverfish that were supposed to be like a shield according to or like a protective thing according to the lore of the item, but in reality the silverfish did like half your HP in damage, which was ridiculous. Also, the crossbow kit I picked here did 0 damage pretty much. We're gonna see it in action actually. See if I can find a moment where I shoot somebody and see how much damage it actually deals, because as far as I remember, it is garbage. Yep, that was almost nothing. Cool. Like the PvP, the melee as well, like 2 crits, they're still on like half their health. I did about 1 heart at most per hit. Then we're just standing next to the opponents now. This guy's just jumping up and down. Oh, he missed. Did no damage, which I feel like takes away the whole point of the mace. The whole reason the mace is balanced in Minecraft is because it's a high risk, high reward. If you don't hit your hit, you die. But clearly not in this one. Nope. No, he didn't hit anything and took 0 damage, which is not intuitive at all. You would expect that to happen, but oh well. Yeah, my kit's garbage. I get ran down. It is what it is. Maybe I'm playing this wrong. I probably am. So my perspective is probably not the most accurate, but that's just how I perceive it, really. I'm just not playing super great here either. I could have just gone for that stray person with the skeleton head. But they should be dying here. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, yeah. One thing I did figure out about this map, there was like an ender pearl kit. I don't know if I'll be able to get to the point where I use it properly. Yeah, this ender pearl kit. I go TP over to one side. Boom. Oh, never mind. Not here. I guess. Yep. I'm like, okay, I'll contest this. Never mind. I'm gonna run away. Ender pearl to the other side. Help my teammate here. Boom. Now we're on this point. Kind of OP, but like in a funny way. Like it's OP. Like, because you could just TP out of the battle and then suddenly contest the other point, where, like, obviously only one other player could do that, which I think is a little ridiculous. It kind of became, like, a requirement to have one of these kits, but, oh well, I guess. Yeah, for PvP game, it's alright. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just alright. That's just my perspective. I'm sorry. Like, that's just how I view it. I don't think many PvP games in modern Minecraft events are excellent, besides the ones that are exclusively ranged. Yes, that means Extraction, Meltdown, Dodgebolt. If you count Dodgebolt, those are the 3 ones that I think have no flaws. Those are perfect. Anyways, next game. Oh, Spliff. This one partially is my fault, but not entirely. This is Spliff, but not really Spliff. like the mechanics of Spliff with breaking blocks and throwing snowballs, those exist. It just felt like that wasn't like the main element of gameplay that became relevant. Because the whole thing about this game is the spleef goes up, and I'll try to see if I can wait for it to happen at some point, because it should like display. But the whole goal here is to use these wind charges to go up, and if you don't use the wind charges to go up, you lose, which I don't think is a good idea, because wind charges are a very new aspect of Minecraft and also a relatively niche skill, which, to make it a requirement pretty much to be able to compete in a game, is a little silly in my opinion. I personally just don't agree with that design choice. Another thing that I thought was a little weird and especially very unintuitive for this game as well. Here's me absolutely throwing. I'm just bad because I don't know how the wind charge works. So I'm just like, oh, what? I'm just guessing that it's like, sure, right? Oh, you'll see the blocks above here. There's little like displays, and then boom, it appears. Absolutely crazy movement here from me. Crazy timing, but that's how the game works. That's the whole premise. Is you have to go up. That's easy to understand. Okay, I understand. You have to go up. The way to do it was just a little much. Yeah, sorry, the decay, I think, I was about to talk about the decay. The decay for this was really odd. It wasn't, like, straightforward. It wasn't, like, gradual. It was in bursts, pretty much. You see the way the blocks on the floor look. You have the mycelium, which is the purpley, like, purple-gray. Then you have the gray, that's the basalt, and then you have the black, which is the blackstone. The blackstone is the last stage. That turns into air eventually. However, the way it works is it actually decays, like, outwards, kind of, from every spot, I think. At least that's what it looked like. I don't know if I'll ever be able to, like, showcase the proper, like, visual representation of that, but I'm fairly sure that's how that worked. It's not like a case where, like, random blocks will just randomly disappear in, like, a fluent motion, but, like, little bursts of blocks decaying will happen at the same time, which kind of means that it's slightly more RNG, in terms of how you can control, that was unlucky, how you can control, like, the movement around how the map moves around you. I thought that was a little silly. I will say that a lot of people in my chat and outside of just my chat were saying that they thought this was a really interesting game. So this is probably just my perspective being wrong. I thought this was very weird. Probably just a skill issue. But yeah, I think this is also okay. Like, it's not bad. It's just different in a way that maybe was just too complicated for me. Yeah, I thought it was alright. Definitely one of the more unique ones that I think has a lot of potential. I just think that the element of gameplay used, that's kind of mandatory, which is the wind charge, is too new. It is too new for it to be the entire premise of a game, in my opinion. It's too new to just be the entire gimmick, in my opinion. Too niche, too new, whatever, right? Anyways, and also slightly unintuitive. Next up was the game I did the best in, for sure, and also the game that when I did a review of watching Biome Battle 1, I thought was the coolest, which is Oppenslimer, I think is what it's called. This is like Splatoon. That's it. I mean, it's Splatoon. This game was fun. I mean, it's Splatoon. Splatoon is fun. I don't know, man. Booster is wrong when he says that he hates Splat and Party. He's always wrong, of course, because it's Booster. But you know, Splatoon game, I like Splatoon game. I think it's cool. One thing I will say is that it did drag out a little bit. It felt pretty long from what I remember. I do think this could be condensed a bit more to maybe just be a bit quicker. But I could be wrong. Maybe every other game was long too, and I only really thought about it with this game. Because it's very monotonous, right? You're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. To the point where once you've done it 10 times, which, trust me, within the time that you have, keep about 2 rounds, you're going to do the same thing about 10 times. It just was a little too much, in my opinion. But that's okay. That's my opinion, and my opinion does not necessarily represent the accurate opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just what I think. For the rest, this was like solid. I did think that, again, slightly unintuitive. Maybe this is just a design choice. Apparently the kills did not matter, I was told. So it felt like, because all these players were able to fight each other and deal damage and whatever, it felt like there should have been an incentive to kill. That's just intuition. It makes sense that you're gonna try to PvP each other because you're in an arena with a bunch of other players with PvP enabled. Of course you're gonna try to PvP each other. But apparently it didn't do anything, or apparently it wasn't worth it, is what I was told. Maybe my teammates relayed incorrect info to me. I don't know. That's just what I interpreted from what I was told. Either way, yeah. For the rest of this game, I mean, no complaints. What I will say is, I got top 5 in this game, and it did not feel deserved at all. Let's try to get to the point. Where the points are showcased, where they are revealed. Yeah, you see whatever scores, blah blah. I got 5th. Don't know what I did to get 5th. Maybe it was the capture points. I got a couple of capture points, I guess, but that also didn't feel like I should have been the number 1 player or something. I don't know. It was just confusing. As are a lot of the design choices here, but that's, again, keep in mind, only the second event. I'm sure it's gonna get better. I'm just saying, from my perspective right now, based on how other events are, that's my thought, my opinion. Next up is probably my least favorite part of the event, which is, this is called Sprint. Sprint is just running back and forth. 1 hunter per team, the rest are all the runners. You run back and forth. If you get punched once by anything along the way, you die that round and become a hunter next round, or next cycle back, I should say. That's all understandable, right? That's fine. The main thing with this is, from a hunter perspective, it was really difficult, for me personally at least, to figure out where the people actually were, because they aren't glowing, and then there's other people glowing, but the map is colorful, so people's skins will look, some people's skin will look really obvious and clear, some people's skin won't. I was just confused. Probably a skill issue. I did leave the feedback for an idea I had that completely solves everything, pretty much. It solves the majority of the things, at least. Which is to make the entire map a grayscale, remove all color, and make it look more monotone, which, as much as, yeah, that would probably negatively affect the look of the map, which I will say, I mean, this kind of just looks like a natural generated map. I think if it was grayscaled, it'd look maybe cooler, honestly, because it would look not like a normal map. Then, you know, the grayscale would make it so people stand out a bit more, generally. Here you see me becoming a puncher after getting caught. Another thing with this game that I thought was a little interesting was that the sides of the map were the most optimal strategy for the most part. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it just, I don't know, man. This game was not for me. I didn't like it. I assume that it's not meant to be in forever. Like, this is probably just here for now, and then whenever they have the time to properly introduce more cool concepts in games, whatever, this game will probably be shelved, similar to what happened with Skyzone and Block Wars, because that game was kept around until we could get rid of it, and we sure did. Anyways, yeah. This is, I mean, I'm not even gonna, I'm just gonna be honest, for my opinion, and in my opinion, and from my perspective, I thought this game was not great. Is it like the worst thing ever? No, not at all. It's not the worst thing ever at all. Is it good? No. Is it okay? Maybe. It just felt like I had absolutely zero purpose playing this game. I just felt like I wasn't doing anything. Maybe that's also because of the lag. Keep that in mind, that a lot of the parts of the feedback that I'm giving could be due to the lag issues. But yeah, I don't know. I was just like, meh, just meh. meh about this one. Meh on the sprint. Finally, there was one game that we somewhat played before the game completely collapsed, or the event collapsed. Not the event's fault, that's just because they decided that they're better off just discontinuing the event rather than trying to push through the lag issues that were not caused by Biome Battle, but by a third party, you could say. This game is Farming Frenzy, not to be confused with Factory Frenzy. Farming Frenzy is... like Order Up if you removed the majority of Order Up and then just decided to turn it into a full game. Or I don't say the majority, half of it pretty much. In this game, you gather stuff and then you sell the stuff. And PvP is enabled for some reason. I don't know. I didn't even get to the PvP part. I'll show you exactly what my gameplay looked like. Let's over here. Here's me grabbing the potatoes. Yep. And then I was like, oh, maybe there's stuff over here. Nope, let me go back. Okay, cool. And then I went back, and guess what? More potatoes. I really channeled my inner Technoblade here. Yep, more potato. Yep, oh, beautiful. Cool potatoes. I go back and forth. Yep, more potatoes. And then I'm just like, oh, there's more crops. Let me just get more potatoes. And then, oh, guess what? Let's go back and get more potatoes. Love the bit right here. Yeah, and then go back, and we get more potatoes. You know? You might think that I thought this game was horrendous. I actually didn't think it was, like, terrible. Like, I am doing absolutely nothing in this game. I am just going back and forth, potato, break potato, go back and break more potato, and break the potato, and we break more potato, and that's it. But not, you know, not to sound like a bit of an ass, but, like, I enjoyed this more than like half of the other games. To be fair, I am very easily satisfied with a little bit of dopamine of break block and break more block and then collect and break more block. Hell, look at what game I'm playing on the left here. This might have just been more up my alley. I thought it was alright. I don't know. Like, again, nothing special about this game. It was just alright. And I didn't even get to play probably half of it because technically I scored 0 points. Because I wasn't doing anything. I was just running back and forth and breaking potatoes. But I did have 23 gold potatoes that probably was worth about $1 grillion per freaking potato. Anyways, then yeah, the event was ended. The win was given to whoever was the top two teams. I don't remember, man. Like purple and orange. Yeah, okay. Purple and orange were given the win. Whatever. So yeah, I guess time for a conclusion. My thoughts on Biome Battle. From what I played, and this specific experience, including the lag, it wasn't great. However, my opinion on Biome Battle is not that it's not a good event. I think Biome Battle has a lot of potential. I just think it is very obvious and clear that the main thing that they need to work on, which is a long-term thing and an experience-based bit of feedback, is game design, which will just come naturally from people hopefully giving proper feedback and not trying to sugarcoat some things that, you know, need to be properly talked about. Because I think that's something that I noticed with Biome Battle 1, which I completely understand wanting to be nice to people, especially for their first event. I understand there's a lot of stress behind it and wanting to just be like, oh, you guys did so good, it's amazing, blah, 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 whatever. The problem is if you only tell people that things are amazing, that gives them the perspective that nothing needs to be changed and they have made a perfect thing, which isn't true. I still think this event is good. It has a lot of potential, visually really good, music is really good, game design is the one thing that I think is slightly flawed and needs attention, but once they figure out game design, this is going to be one of the big, I guess the big four at that point of Minecraft events. So that's my thoughts on Biome Battle. I 100% plan to play again. I think, obviously, I need a more fair perspective on the event. I need to give it another shot, etc. And hopefully my team, my little pink team over here, can run it back. Because I had fun. I mean, my team was great, and even though obviously some parts of the event weren't entirely fair and were slightly scuffed, we 100% want to give it another shot. And especially considering that my team ended up in 4th, I think that's totally fine and fair. Not to you know, not to point things out, but like Orange Team, for example, was a little OP. It flew under the radar. If they host this event again, unless this entire roster can come back and everyone can play again, then it's fine, I think, if every team came back. If they have to rebuild the teams based on people being available, unavailable, blah, blah, other people being around, I wouldn't recommend letting the orange team run it back in its entirety because that would be a little bit broken. If you look at the scores over here, they were in first by over 2,000 points, which in terms of the scale that we're dealing with here, why did Cyan... Hold on. Just realized that Cyan team went up from 8th to about 3rd in the span of the hub. Probably just because people are joining the lobby, and I guess their points maybe are added once they join the lobby. I don't know. Also, oh, never mind. Actually, I'm bad at reading. Anyways, that's my thoughts on Biome Battle 2 that I played. Let me know your thoughts on my opinion. Maybe I assume people will be, you know, in disagreement with me because I know that Biome Battle has like a sacred little fan base right now because it is so fresh and the first event was such a strong start. And I don't want this second event to kill the motivation, kill the momentum of Biome Battle. I just want to point out that despite the lag, there were still issues, and I think long term those should be looked into. They will not be fixed immediately, and that's fine. I just wanted to point it out. And hopefully, eventually, things will be ironed out more because, and this is maybe kind of a stray, other events, I will not name names, have had repeated feedback on some of the things that weren't great about their event, and they have ignored the feedback, and that has led to the event's failure. So I want people to be honest, give proper feedback. I would never want someone to be like, yeah, this is amazing, if they don't actually think it's good. And I never want someone to go, this is terrible, when they don't think it's actually terrible. That's why I said none of the games, besides potentially Sprint, are actually bad. But none of the games are good, or great, sorry. Some of them are fine. None of them are great. So, that's my opinion. Thank you for watching. Hope you understand. And I'll see you all later. Alright, I'm gonna go back to playing this and watching Biome Battle. See you later. Goodbye.